The digital media landscape doesn't need more walls. It needs clarity, unlimited intelligence across competitors, audiences, inventory, and data, all in one place. Ask it anything and uncover the drivers behind performance. Path to conversion reporting, media mix modeling, intelligence that adapts in real time with clear revenue impact. Elevate your intelligence platform.
Hey everyone, I'm David Berkowitz with AI Marketers Guild, part of Marketecture. Welcome to another edition of AI Insiders. And I found this guest through a rather unexpected path and a kind of different approach than I usually have for sourcing guests, because the inspiration came when I received an email that one of my daughter's favorite all-time teachers was stepping back from her role after decades in the city public education system, and so Ms. Elias, as I've known her, it's a little bit weird to call you Janet, but I still have that issue with any of my daughter's teachers. So Ms. Elias was teaching my daughter technology in middle school here in Manhattan. And so she was wrapping up this wonderful and impactful career and then started to do some work in the AI consulting space and being this incredible educator and so deep in exploring technology from a lot of angles. It was like, well, sometimes I think getting that bigger lens of where AI fits in, not just with marketing specifically, but with how we learn, with how we teach our children, with how this affects our lives. Was like, well, I've just got to go and see where this one goes. I hope a lot of you are really interested in this too. And so Ms. Elias, Janet, welcome to AI Marketers Guild.
Thank you so much. Thank you, David. And thank you to everyone in AI Marketers Guild for having me. I'm going to have to give a big shout out to your daughter, because if it wasn't for Zella, I wouldn't be here. But thank you all so much. I feel a little nervous because you guys are like real professionals and I'm just a little teacher, and I feel like I have that imposter syndrome, right? Is that what we call it? But anyway, I am here to tell you that I have spent the last 22 years teaching in New York City public schools. I recently retired on March 1st, and I want to tell you what's actually happening with AI in the classrooms, because the kids in those classrooms are about to be your employees, your customers, and your audience. So I think you should probably know what they're up to, right, guys?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So take a moment, take out your phones, and go ahead and follow me on TikTok. And maybe I will go ahead and give you a follow back. So take 10 seconds.
I like that. I think you're the first guest. We've been doing this for a while. I think you're the first guest to lead with TikTok instead of LinkedIn. So this is already something different.
I'm over LinkedIn. I'm so, I've learned everything I need to know on TikTok lately, everything. So go ahead and follow me. All right, now.
And Daniel's already impressed with your engagement there.
Oh, thank you. All right. So I want to just tell you a little bit about myself. I've been teaching public school technology only for over 22 years in the New York City public school system, and most recently at Wagner Middle School, what I like to say as the largest middle school in Manhattan. It's a term that I coined. So every time I talk about Wagner, I'm so proud of the fact that I am teaching at the largest public school in Manhattan. And most recently, I just retired March 1st. Now, I started teaching at 40 years old. So that was a second career for me. And if anybody in this room is quietly thinking if it's too late to pivot, let me save you the suspense. It's never too late to pivot. So I started teaching at 40 years old, and it's my second career. All right, now chapter one is I started teaching at 40, because I loved teaching my own children so much. They would be at nursery school, and I would literally be creating lesson plans for that when they came home from nursery school. So I went back to school to CW Post, which was kind of in my backyard, and I got my teaching degree. After I got my teaching degree, I knew I needed a master's. So I thought about, do I want to do literacy or do I want to do technology and education? Back then, we were only doing Word Perfect on a computer. I mean,
I love Word Perfect.
Antiquated. And I decided to go right into my master's for technology. Okay, so that's chapter 1, just retired. Chapter 2, I just launched my own AI consulting where I'm helping the private sector understand AI and how to adopt it. I've also been consulting with schools, and I'm writing curriculum for them in order to teach AI with their students. Hi guys. Okay. Zealous home?
Yeah, it's an early day with math
Oh
testing
my
to go. So
goodness. Hi,
you have
how
some
are you?
special guests that I was not expecting.
Oh, that's what I miss about being in the classroom, the kids. But anyway, yes, it's really tough missing the kids. Now, next also, I am also a TikTok creator and a teacher advocate. So I have a platform on TikTok, and a lot of teachers reach out to me for advice. So I started helping teachers land jobs at the New York City Department of Ed, where they send me their resumes, and I share it with contacts of people that I've met throughout my career. I love helping other teachers. I'm also advocating for teachers that are having a horrible time at their school. I had one school contact me in Queens, and they had a horrible bathroom situation. So within making a video, within one day, the bathroom was fixed for them. Okay, so I enjoy doing that and helping people. I'm also a brand collaborator on TikTok and Instagram, and I work with Target and CVS and Amazon. I'm wearing an Amazon shirt right now. Okay, I'll link it later. And other UGC content creation. One of my favorite projects is my husband and I own a car wash in Roslyn. My husband is a real estate developer. So we own a car wash in Roslyn. Anybody, show of hands, know American Car Wash in Roslyn? It's located across from the Americana, across from Hermes and Louis Vuitton.
Any Long Islanders in the room? All right.
Any Long
Kelly, you out
Islanders
there?
or
Okay.
all city slickers. So it's a beautiful, beautiful car wash. I tell everyone it's an experience. It's a boutique car wash with a beautiful curated gift shop and a toy store. And the toys that I buy are all high end and all educational because I never want parents to buy junk for their kids that end up in a junk drawer. So you will not find any junk in my car wash. Last but not least, I am a mom of 2 adult children, Brittany and Brandon, my pride and joy. And my greatest joy is I've just become a grandmother to a beautiful granddaughter, Charlotte. She's just so gorgeous. And I love her so much. She's 10 months old. And I split my time between New York City, Manhasset, where I am today, and Watermill. So that's a little bit about me.
I love all the varied hats you're wearing.
Thank you. Okay. So let's jump right in. Here is what I want to talk to you about. So AI is already in our classrooms. It's been there a while, and the kids are way ahead of us. Today, I'm going to walk you through 3 things. What New York City just did, what's actually happening in the classrooms, and how to talk to a kid or honestly an employee about anything about AI. So New York City schools just released their AI guidelines. Parents can review them and weigh in on them before they're finalized. David, I'm going to put you on the spot. Did you know this?
No, I thought I heard something about this, but I didn't know about this.
A lot of people don't know about that. And I'm glad that we're able to have this so people can know. So on March 24th of this year, New York City Public Schools released their first AI guidelines for the largest district in the United States, 1 million students. The public comment closes on May 8th. 2 days from now. And what they want to know is what you think about their guidance, and if you want to make any tweaks to it. So the kids in this guidance are about to be your future hires, your future customers, and your future audience. So if you go onto this website, schools.nyc.gov, and you click on the AI link, anybody is able to take the survey. This is what it looks like when you click on it. And it only takes 3 to 5 minutes. So I really suggest everybody taking this survey. If you're a marketer who works for EdTech, take it. If you are a parent, take it. And if you are neither, share the survey with somebody. Now, let's take a look at who they want to hear from. So if you're on this list, you're the experts. So they want to hear from teachers, central office, the UFT, school staff, parents, labor partners, school administrators, students, district leaders, community members, parents, and researchers. So New York City is officially asking everyone to weigh in on how AI should work in schools. This has never happened before, where New York City public schools ask you to weigh in on something. So I would not sleep on this. You guys are the experts. You should definitely weigh in on it. Okay, so let's talk about right now what the chancellor is doing in New York City schools. Okay, because this is called a framework, and I recommend anybody stealing this framework and using it because it's pretty good. I'm going to take a moment to let you read this quote from the chancellor. Take a second. So 3 questions every AI decision runs through. It's safety, rigor, and cultural responsiveness. We're going to look at all 3 and how they translate to the business world for you. Okay, first of all, safety. Does the technology affect student data, their privacy, their well-being? In your world, that's probably customer data, employee data, brand safety, having conversations. Question 2 is rigor. Are we using AI to deepen our thinking or to replace it? So everyone in this group right now, I want you to be honest with yourself and think, is your AI making your team think harder or less? So that's the question everyone needs to ask themselves. And question 3, cultural responsiveness, will it reflect the people it's actually serving? If your AI was trained on people who don't look like your customers, then you might have a problem even before you launch it. So this 3-question lens, this is the exact kind of framework that I help companies build, just so you know.
And for those who might have missed it, last week we had Idil Chukum, who's working with the Advertising Research Federation, and a couple of their execs talk about how AI's gender bias, for instance, and so I'll put the link to the recording in there. But like, these are also very timely issues, and it's great to see how all these sessions relate to each other, because at least knowing what that bias is gives you a chance to mitigate it.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you, David. Thank you. Okay, so now it's built around specific students. The 4th grader, the multilingual learner, and a student with a disability. So these students are exactly who the AI is targeting right now. So New York Reads is our reading program. New York Solves is our math agenda, and Future Ready is our post-secondary readiness. Okay, now, so this is a timeline of what the DOE launched. March 21st, 24th, they came out with the guidance. Now they're asking for feedback. We have 2 days to publicly comment. Now, at the end of June, the AI playbook comes out. I don't know if anyone heard in the news recently, there was a school that they were trying to do next generation, and 100 people protested about it, and they wanted an AI school for the New York City Department of Ed on the Upper West Side, but it got canceled. They would not allow it because the playbook is not done. So how could we have an AI school when we don't even have a comprehensive plan yet? So the chancellor had to put it on a 2-year hold. Did anyone hear about that in the news recently? So now, this is the traffic light for the classroom. Every potential AI gets a color. Green is go, yellow is slow down, red is stop. That's the whole system. If your company doesn't have a green or red AI list, go ahead and use it. This is a great list. This is a compliance strategy. So the green light is approved uses: brainstorming and planning, drafting communications. Notice the pattern, it's very low stakes, and a human reviews it. A human is involved. So AI is like the intern, and the teacher is still the boss with the green light. Marketing parallels for you might be the first draft of a social, internal memos, okay, or research roundups. Next, we're going to go to the yellow light. So the yellow light is oversight is required. It needs a human to check it. This is translation work for multi-language learners, spotting trends in student data, adapting materials for accessibility. In every one of those, AI does the lift, and the trained human signs off before it touches a student. This is the model that your company could use too, having a human in the loop, not a buzzword. It's the thing that keeps our name, the school, out of the New York Post, okay? Having a human check it before a student. The red light is where AI will never be used in schools. AI will never, ever grade any assignments, make any discipline decisions. It will never read IEPs or 504 plans. It won't tell us if a student is eligible to graduate. Humans only, full stop. Same thing for your company, hiring and firing, credit decisions, refunds. You should always have a human intervene with those. All right, now, before we go on talking about AI platforms, there's a 4-letter word every AI vendor needs to know, and it's called ERMA. Has anyone ever heard that term in this group before?
I haven't met ERMA yet.
What's that?
I haven't met ERMA yet.
No, you haven't heard of ERMA. Okay, so ERMA stands for Enterprise Request Management Application. It's a New York City privacy and security vetting process for any third-party software. And it doesn't matter if the software is paid or free or donated, no exceptions. If you're building an AI tool, it has to be ERMA approved. Every product has to be approved before one single teacher can use it in the classroom. It's not a barrier. It's an opportunity for the New York City public schools to make sure everything is safe for their 1.1 million students. Now, the vendors who understand ERMA get their products approved. The ones that don't understand ERMA, they never win the contract. So ERMA is school's official approval process for any third-party software that is to be used in the classroom. It's designed for principals, superintendents, and central executives. They're the ones that submit the request. So I used to see a platform that I wanted to use, and I would submit it to the Department of Ed and ask them if it could be ERMA approved. They would have to vet the software and see whether or not it's compliant. And there's absolutely no exception. Okay, so let's take a look at what it looks like in a child's typical day at school. What you actually look at, like a green for a sixth grader would use a DOE approved chatbot to brainstorm for a book report. A new classmate comes in from France and they need to get something translated into French. The bilingual paraprofessional would go ahead and check it. So that would be a yellow. The red would be an AI tool to write comments for a report card. That would never be allowed. And again, IEP meetings, you would never be allowed to use AI for an IEP meeting. A teacher's word about your child's stay with your life, that doesn't get outsourced. Okay. If you have a child in public school, these are some good questions to ask. Don't ask them in a car ride. Ask them one at a time. The key word here is if they're curious. Have you used AI at school lately? What was it like? Did the teacher show you how to use it, or did you figure it out? How could you tell if what I told you was actually right? Kids will tell you everything if you don't want to make it a trial, okay?
Can I just pause for a sec and ask you a broader question that I was just
Sure.
talking to someone else about yesterday here? Because I've seen mixed things out there in terms of, like, if we look at Gen Alpha, right? Like your latest batch of students, and if you want to speak even a little bit more broadly, like younger Gen Z that you've seen, that I've definitely seen some backlash among the kids, like just not wanting to use all the AI stuff, like just like kind of getting tired of some of the stuff that's like being forced down their throats, and them seeing some of the downsides of it, and obviously some embrace it for some different activities. I'm like, I'm wondering if just from your recent classroom experience, if you see this generation being more like AI enthusiastic or skeptic, or where you might generalize.
I find them to be both enthusiastic and skeptic. Okay, both of them, David. When I will show them a video, very quickly, hands will go up. That's AI. That's AI. They will know it's AI before I do, before I look at it. I'm like, how did you figure that out so fast? And they'll tell me, oh, look at the background, look at this, look at their hands, whatever. And they're really, really amazing how they can point it out. They're also skeptic as well, and we'll talk about that later, where they're skeptic, where they think that maybe one day they're going to have an AI teacher, a robot in front of their classroom. Maybe AI is going to replace their jobs. They know that it's making people a little bit dumber, shall we say, doing the thinking for them. So it's probably both worlds, David.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just so curious, when when they see that some is AI generated, does that mean they tend to like it less, or are they?
Yeah,
like...
they definitely like it less, that they know it wasn't human created.
Mm-hmm.
Okie doke. We'll move on.
Yeah.
All right. So, holding both sides at once: the promise, the personalized support, the language access, teacher capacity, and creative exploration. This is what's shaping the world, the concerns. So now the last thing I want to tell you, on May 8th, it's the last day for your voice to be heard. So go ahead and take that survey. That's really important. Now I want to tell you, that was the Department of Ed, everything that they are doing with AI. I want to now talk a little bit about my perspective of AI and what's going on in the classroom. So I always tell my students, AI won't replace you. The student who knows how to use AI will. It's really important for them to learn how to use it ethically. So 3 things that I've noticed As I said, students can spot AI content better than I can. Okay. Videos, imaging, writing, the instinct, they're trained. So a seventh grader, a fake video, they clock it in seconds. Two, they're afraid. The fear comes up in conversation. Will AI take my job, Miss Elias? From this world that we've built, right? They're fearful of the future. Sometimes they think the robots are going to take over the world. You know how children think. The last one is, once the fear gets named, the question shifts. Will it replace me? And how do I become the kid that knows how to use it? So everyone on this call should take note. The fear is real. Address it. Don't dismiss it. It's real. So one thing I want to let everybody know, New York City technology teachers do not get a curriculum. I do not walk into school in September and handed a book telling me what to teach. The same way an English teacher will receive wit and wisdom, a math teacher will receive their curriculum, science, social studies. We have zero curriculum. So it is up to the tech teacher to write the curriculum. No textbook, no lesson plan, no roadmap. I have to build it. Now, every school is not like me, okay? So yes, I want to pat myself on the back. I do work hard to research and to create my own content to bring out the best in my students, but that's not at every public school. All right, I'm going to ask everybody, when I start teaching an AI unit, the very first thing I do is I talk about the Jetsons. Do you remember the Jetsons, everyone?
Oh, love it. Think about it all the time.
So if you guys could open up your phone and go to menti.com and type in that code, menti.com.
It's fun. I love Menti. I always want to do it. I put the code in the chat too.
Okay.
Thank you for putting it on the screen.
So thank you, David. So I want you to predict what the Jetsons actually predicted. I want you to write down what the Jetsons actually predicted and what we have today. Type as many as you can think of. Okay, so I'm seeing robots, vacuums. So that's like a Roomba, remote classrooms. Yes, Zoom, flying saucers, flying cars. So like a robot servants, robotic dishwashers, video calls, time traveling, horrible bosses. That's a good one. FaceTime. Excellent. Digital news, flat screen TVs. Perfect. So what I do before I start a lesson is I show them an episode from 1962, The Jetsons, and I tell them, guys, I used to watch this as a little girl. These products did not exist. My Apple Watch that I'm wearing right now, look at it on the Jetsons. That didn't exist. Zoom classes didn't exist. The Roomba didn't exist. Alexa didn't exist. And I talk about all these products, and I talk about how it's amazing that we have them all today. And then I lead into our AI platform. Okay. So after I start talking about all these AI inventions, I start off my AI unit talking about AI scams, because I find that to be the most important one to start with and to teach the students about AI cloning, voice cloning. And I have every single one of my students may have a homework assignment where they go home and they pick a code word that only their family knows. It's a password in case they ever get an urgent call from someone that said, oh, your mom's not picking you up today. I'm going to pick you up from baseball. Or you need to text X amount of money to us right now. Now, when I have this conversation with my students, They are gut honest with me, and they tell me about family members that have been scammed, grandparents that have been scammed. So it's really important for parents to have a code word with their children, because the extent of the cloning it's just incredible of what is going on. I show them very impactful videos of adults that have been scammed, and it's really, really earth-shattering.
And
Yeah.
by the way, I mean, like ever since 11 Labs came out, especially, I think about this all the time because I think about my mom who's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, fully sharp and with it and everything. And I'm like if my mom got a call from some AI pretending to be me, it
Mm-hmm.
would like, as I hear my own voice in 11 Labs,
Right.
like, would she think it's me? And I'm like, absolutely. Like, I think it's her. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, like
Right.
why wouldn't we? So and it's just so easy with a few like if there's a few seconds of our audio out there, anyone could take 10 seconds of the footage of you on this recording or on TikTok and come up with an AI version of you that your students would swear is you, even the smartest ones. So
Absolutely. I agree with that. I'm going to show you a quick clip of a very smart man that was duped. I show it to my students. I put it in Google Classroom and I have them show it to their parents.
I was the intended victim of a scam using my son's voice. And here's the story. I was on my way to work. My phone rang. It was my son. He was crying. He said, "Dad, I was in an accident. I hit another car being driven by a pregnant woman. My nose is broken. They arrested me. I'm in jail. They assigned a public defender to me. His name is Barry Goldstein. You need to call him. You have to get me out of here. Help me." I said, "Brett, I'll call him and I'll call you right back." He said, "You can't. They took my phone. Help me, Dad." I'm a father. I'm a lawyer. My son's in trouble. A pregnant woman was hurt. He's in jail. I'm in action mode. Before I could do anything, my phone rings again. It's Barry Goldstein. "I just met with your son. He's hurt. He has a broken nose, but he'll be okay. He hit a car being driven by a pregnant woman. She was taken to the hospital. They arrested your son because he failed the breathalyzer test at the accident scene." I said, "Wait, my son would never drink and drive." He said, "Brett told him that, but he had an energy drink that morning, and that may have caused the failed test." He said, I should take some steps if I wanted to bail my son out. I said, "Of course I want to do that." He said, "Well, I'll give you the phone number for the courthouse, and here's your son's case number. You should call the courthouse and bail him out." I immediately called the courthouse. They answer correctly. I tell them why I'm calling. They said, "What's your son's name?" They asked for the case number. They said, "Yes, your son's here. Bail was set at $90,000. You need to post 10%, $9,000 to bail him out. There's a problem." So what's the problem? The county bail bondsman was away on a family emergency, and he's not available. He said, "But there is a solution. You can post what they called an attorney's bond." I said, "I'm an attorney." He said, "Yes, but you'd haven't entered your appearance on behalf of your son. There's a Mr. Goldstein that did that. You should perhaps call him back and try to get him to post the attorney's bond." Hang up. I call Mr. Goldstein back. "Mr. Goldstein, can you post the bond for my son?" "Yes." "You need to wire me $9,000. He said, "I'm a member of a credit union, so you need to take the cash to a certain kiosk, which will get the money to me. And I'm scheduled to leave for a conference in California. I'll be leaving to the airport in 2 hours, so you need to move quickly." I learned later that that kiosk was a Bitcoin kiosk that would convert the money to cryptocurrency. I hang up. All of these calls happened in 2 minutes. This is the first time I had a chance to think. I called my daughter-in-law and suggested that she call work and tell them that my son wasn't going to make it today because he was in an accident. A few minutes later, FaceTime call from my son. He's pointing to his nose. He goes, "My nose is fine. I'm fine. You're being scammed." I sat there in my car. I was
Okay.
Yeah.
So he continues his conversation. He's talking in front of Congress, trying to get a bill in order to stop these AI scams. He was unsuccessful because they never got his money. But I feel like these videos that are out there are very powerful for children to watch. All right, now, after we learn about AI scams, I start teaching them the heart of AI with some ERMA approved websites. One of them is Common Sense Media. And all of these websites are K through 12 and they're free. They teach AI literacy. They're built for non-tech teachers, so they're pretty easy for people to use. So as I said, they don't give teachers curriculum, so we have to look online and find things to use. So this is one of the best ones for teachers to use in order to teach their students in their classrooms. This would be a little video that I would show them on how
You've
AI
probably
works.
heard a lot about AI recently, but what is it, really? AI, or artificial intelligence, is when we teach computers how to do things that usually require human intelligence, like identifying an object, understanding human speech, and even talking. But how do you teach a computer to learn and think? Well, it's kind of like when you train a pet to do tricks. Think of AI as a robot dog that you're training to
So very children friendly and very easy for teachers to use. Common Sense Media. The next one that I really love to use is code.org. Again, another free website. And I used to teach a lot of coding. I've stopped teaching as much coding because we know AI can create the code for you. But this one is really fun where the kids learn how to make a dance party. I'm going to just quickly show you a little snippet.
Hi, my name is Miral Kadvi, and I'm a dancer, software developer, and creator of Illuminate. Computer science relates to creativity in numerous ways, immeasurable, really. I mean, once you have the ability to write software, you can put ideas into anything. I do it with light suits. There's so much you can do once you have the tools to write software, and the possibilities are really endless. Over the next hour, you're going to get started with computer science and artificial intelligence by coding your own dance party. We've assembled some hip music and a team of great dancers for you to play with. You'll be using blocks of code to choose different dancers. Change your dance moves, make them respond to the music, and make them interactive.
The kids love this project. It usually takes me about 2 days with them, and they code an animal to like really popular songs using block coding and using AI backgrounds. The next website that I use is called Google Applied Digital Skills. Again, ERMA approved, again, free. I absolutely love this one. I'll give you a little snippet.
5 must-knows to get started with generative AI. Lately, everyone's talking about artificial intelligence, or AI, and how it could change things. With spoiler alert, at Google, AI is not that new at all. We first used it in 2001 when we launched our spell check system on Google Search. Today, AI is in many Google products that billions of people already use. Historically, AI was used to understand and recommend information. Now, generative AI can help us create new content, such as images, music, and code, all with a simple prompt. But as with anything new, it's important to understand the do's and don'ts.
Again, very children friendly, love Google Applied Digital Skills. One of the most important skills I like to teach my students is how to write a prompt. I think it's really important we use the 5 parts that actually help. So when I'm teaching them how to write a prompt, I start with pretend you're talking to AI and you're ordering food. I tell them you can't just say, give me food, because you might get a piece of cold broccoli from AI. You need to be very, very specific with what you want in your prompt. So I use this with my 6th graders, and I say, okay, let's ask for something explicit. So we want hot cheese pizza, 8 slices, and now we're talking. The next thing is your persona. Who are you? Tell AI who you are so it knows how to help you. I tell them to tell them about themselves, how old they are, what grade they're in, what sports they like, and what crafts they're into. Their aim, what do you want it to do? Always start with an action verb and tell them what you need. For example, I want to brainstorm for a cute pet name for our family pet. So, anything that you want, I always tell them it should have a verb in the action. Recipient, who is it for? Tell the AI who's going to read it, hear it, or watch it. Then it's the theme. What is the vibe? How should the AI sound? Funny, spooky, hyped up. Maybe we're doing an English project and it should sound like Shakespeare. Maybe we're doing a technology project and it should be in the voice of Steve Jobs. So we always want to tell the AI who is the vibe, who is our audience. Structure, what should it look like? Tell AI what format you want it into. Do you want it as a rap? Do you want it to look like a group chat with emojis? And then you put it all together, and it's I am tell them who you are, who you want, who it's for, what's the vibe, and what's the structure. And it really, really resonates with them, and I've seen them really improve writing their prompts with this formula. Okay, so let me see. I'm a 6th grader who just got a new puppy. Help me come up with 10 funny names for my puppy. The names are for my family to pick from. Make them silly and goofy, and put it in a number list with 1 funny reason for each name. So that would be a very similar lesson that I would teach my 6th graders. All right, now, 4 things that I would love for you to do this week. If you have somebody at home that you want to have a conversation with, use AI together with a child. Pick a small task, maybe a recipe, maybe plan a vacation together, or maybe a homework question, and have AI by your side. Have them learn from watching you rather than being told. Then ask them to find the wrong answer. Have them push AI until it says something is incorrect. It's the fastest way to teach healthy skepticism. Talk about what AI doesn't see, what voice is missing, whose experience. AI is as broad as it's trained. And then also ask your school what they're using. You have a right to know what every school is using, and you can ask them how their data is being protected.
This is fantastic. I love the different perspectives, the interactivity, just
Thank you, David.
So I think it's inspiring on a lot of different levels, from your career pivots and your multiple hats, personal and professional, all of this. So
thank you. I hope that your audience got a little taste of what it's like in a New York City public school classroom with middle school kids learning AI and trying to do our best.
Yeah, well, you're doing more than that. I mean, my daughter was very fortunate to be in your final class, but I love how you're continuing to teach all of us.
Thank
and
you.
And I look forward to continuing to learn from you and just so you have the TikTok. Is that the best way for folks to stay in touch with you?
Absolutely. Yes. And my
Uh,
website, misselias.com, MSELIAS.com.
Amazing. Well, yeah, we'll make sure to keep sharing that out. This has just been chock full of resource. Thanks to everyone for participating and sharing so many resources in your own right, and glad everyone could join us for this class today. So
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you
Looking
so much, Sally.
fantastic. Just
you.
great.
Appreciate that.
And it's Teacher Appreciation Week, so we happen to pick a really good week to do this.
Oh,
Even
yes,
better.
it's true. Yes. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone. See you soon.
Bye-bye, everyone.